Hi guys, it's me again, and again welcome back, or welcome to my channel, Cooking with Pouncy. Please hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, and if you like what you see, please share this video with others. And having said that, I will then proceed with the stuffed pork chop, which is what I'm going to make for supper tonight. And I haven't made them for a long time, but we're going to do this together, you and I and everybody else that's interested. So guys, here we go. I was in the store the other day, and of course I was, because I bought these chops, but I couldn't resist them. They were just beautiful. And I'll just tilt them up so you can see what I'm talking about here. Got a little tenderloin on this one here, some on that one there. They're really, really nice. These are 1.5 inches thick actually, and I think that's kind of perfect for doing what we're going to do with them here in terms of stuffing them. And the accompanying meal is going to be my asparagus. Got some really nice fresh asparagus I'm going to do here. I'll be rolling these asparagus in a little oil. I got about a tablespoon of olive oil here that I'm going to roll those in. I'll show you that in just a moment as well. I'll be adding then to my pork chops this stuffing that I made a couple of days ago. This is Italian sausage stuffing that I made that I usually stuff with, and that's going to be what's going to go inside the pocket of these. I'll be adding a little, I'm jumping all over you guys, but it'll be an ingredient list for you too. I'll be adding a few red pepper flakes actually to my asparagus. I'm going to roast these as well. I've got something called Meat Magic. If you guys have seen my other videos, I use this quite a lot, because it's really quite tasty. Very flavorful on your meat and vegetables as well, okay? I'll be using a little bit of garlic, salt. Maybe I'll sprinkle just a tad of that on there. I'll be putting, of course, some coarse ground pepper on the pork chops as well. A little sea salt will also accompany that. Being careful with the salt. I've got salt, garlic salt, Meat Magic, so we're going to be careful with the salt deal. I'm going to be then making a little sauce or gravy, if you will, using some vegetable oil. Just a little bit, about oh gosh, maybe 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons maybe, to make my sauce from the drippings, because I'm going to sear these pork chops a little bit before I put my stuffing in them, just for some beautiful color, okay? And then on my asparagus as well, I'm going to be adding some Parmesan cheese, grated. I don't have any shredded. I would also put shredded on there, but I don't have any, okay? And the sauce I'm going to make, or gravy if you will, I'm going to be using a little chicken stock. And probably to thicken it, not probably, but to thicken it, I'll be using about 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I think that's about all I need. I've talked about here. I think I'll take my asparagus first, and I'm going to roll those in this tablespoon of oil that I've got here. And I don't think I've touched anything to contaminate anything here. And I'm just going to do that. I'm going to put these on here to my little baking dish, cookie sheet rack, if you will. And I'm going to just roll those. So they'll get coated. And again, that's only about 1 tablespoon of oil. So all I want to do is coat them so that the seasonings will stick on them. They'll be going into the oven about the last 20 minutes of the cook time for the pork chops. Meaning I would not put these in for 35 minutes, which is what the pork chops are going to go in at. So again, that's only about 1 tablespoon, maybe a little more of olive oil. So that's nice and glistening and shiny, if you will. And I'll be seasoning those as well, like I said. And I think I might do that right now. I'm going to show that to you. Little red pepper flakes. And I might not have done this before, not too many. Just so that 1 or 2 of them might have a flake or 2 sticking on top, because I'm not going to roll them over to get them coated. Because as they cook, they'll have a lot of flavor. You don't need to season both sides of them. So let's just do this. Some Parmesan on here, and we're going to set these aside, of course, once I get the chops in the oven. And again, the last 20 minutes of bake time at 350 degrees, these are going to go in the same oven with the chops, okay? And I'm going to put a little Meat Magic, as I indicated, on there too, because it's very flavorful. If you've not used it before, and I'll hold it up so you can see the label. It won't take away from the asparagus. It actually enhances, in my opinion, enhances that flavor of the asparagus. Make sure you get some on the flour portion there too. I'm not gonna, as I said, I don't have to roll them over, and make sure the other side's coated as well. I don't know that I need any garlic salt. Put a little bit on there, maybe just a tad. Come on, garlic. There it is, coming out. A little bit of dust. That's it. I think that's all I'm going to do now for that. I'm going to set that aside. Now we're going to do these pork chop, and give me just a moment to glove up again, and we'll stuff these pork chops. Guys, let's see if we can put a pocket or two in these pork chop. Again, these are just beautiful. You can see that, and again, they're 1.5 inches thick in here, and they are just absolutely beautiful. So here we go. We're gonna just make a slit here. I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can see. For those of you who wear glasses, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. There's no excess fat that I have to trim off of these chops. Again, they look really nice. Some of it's going to render off, some of it's going to add flavor. So I'm going to make a pocket here. As you can see, here's the tail of the pork chop here. And I'm just going to make a pocket here. And I'm about in the center of it, okay? About in the center of that chop itself. I can feel my knife. You can see my knife as I'm cutting here. And again, I'm going to start curving my knife in. Now here's the bone, right here. I'm going to start curving my knife in, which is what I'm doing. I can feel it in here. I feel the tip of my knife, and I'm curving like this now, because I'm trying to make a pocket, all right? And I think I got a pocket here. As you can see, I've got a pocket there, all right? And I'm not going to come all the way through. I've done that before too, but you don't really have to. If I have an accident and cut it through, I'll tell you that I intended to do that anyway, okay? Just kidding, guys. All right, so there you are. The surgeon is done. I got a nice pocket there. I think you can see that. I got a nice pocket where that stuffing is going to go right in there, all right? And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to turn around and put my pan on so I can get it nice and hot, because I'm going to sear, like I said, I'm going to sear these just for color. Here's that tail again. Here's that little tenderloin right here. I'm going to go for the center. What is the center, or where the closest to the center as I can get. Okay, here we go again. And I'm just going to start my slit, and I'm holding the knife perfectly level, as level as I can feel it here. And again, I feel the tip of my knife as I cut into the chop, and I'm starting my curve. I'm curving like this so I can make a pocket, all right? I can feel the knife, the tip right here again. I'm curving to come out now, coming out right here, coming out right there. See that? So that's what I did. I just made a nice curve like that and made a pocket. I'm going to cut that just a little bit here, get that little membrane or whatever that was there. And there you go again, I got a pocket right here. All right? So now we're going to take our stuffing, after I sear these, of course, and I'll show you how I do that. They'll be a little warm when I take them out of here, and I'll leave that here. When I take them out of the pan over here, but I want to do that searing just because I want some nice color. Here goes my meat magic that I told you about, and I'll show you that if you aren't familiar with it. I'm not endorsing anybody's product, but it's really flavorful, really good, and I put it on a lot of stuff, and I hope you can see that, guys. All right, so anyway, we'll continue on with this process here. Make sure you get it on the edges as well. That's what I'm doing here. And it's coated nice and coated there. On the tail of it too. Same with this one. I'm going to open that pocket and put a little bit inside too. Alright. Here's my pocket. Are you guys proud of me the way I made that pocket? Pocket's cool, I'm telling you. Pork chop pocket, I call it. I just made that up. Alright. So I got that nice and coated. This has got, I think it's probably got a little paprika in it too, which gives it a nice color. As well as it sears. So here we go. Oops, I'm just trying to get some in here too. There you go. All right, we're going to sear these. And my oil is already hot, and I'm going to do that. My oil is really hot. I see it's steaming, and I don't know whether I want it that hot, but I think maybe I do. There you go. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. All right. Here's the other one. And I just want to get some nice color on that, okay? And that's why I'm going to sear, because before they go in the oven, I should say, I want that nice color. And again, handling them once they come out of here, be a little bit of a challenge for me. I haven't, heat-wise, I've not done that before with the sear part, but I'm doing it now so you guys can see that. And if I fail at it, then you'll know not to try it. Or maybe you can do it better than I can. So, anyway, As you can hear, I hope they're sizzling over here. And the ring is just about medium-high. A little bit of smoke going in, that's okay. And I don't have to turn my fan on to drown out my lovely voice here. And I'm trying not to even pick them up before I know that they're seared on the other side there. I'm going to cook these to, I'm going to be baking these to a temperature of about 145 degrees. That's a nice doneness. They should be a little pink at the 145 degree level. Unlike yesteryear where we had to make sure that pork was completely cooked done, 185 degrees or so, and that's not necessary. No longer necessary. It hasn't been necessary for a long time. I'm going to be picking this up just to see what it looks like. Here. I'm going to burn myself here. That's got beautiful color. That's got really nice color. And I'll show you these when they come out over. I'll get closer to the camera guys, okay? So they've got beautiful color. Right now, see if I can show it to you. Nice color. Alright. Nice color, that's what I want. You'll get a little bit darker in the oven at that 350 degrees. And again, I think I might have said I'm going to cook them for about 30, I'll set the timer for about 35 minutes, and that should give me a perfect 145 degrees, in case you want to know how I know that. I use a thermometer, and you should use one as well. Don't guess at it. Know what your temperatures are, guys. Get yourself a thermometer. They come in really, really handy, okay? So I'm going to make sure I don't overdo the sear part here, because all I want is some color, guys. And that's what it's giving me right now, some nice color. Nice color. Alright. That's looking good. Now I'm going to come back with you in just a moment here, because I'm going to let them cool just a little bit as I take them out here and put them on my board that I'm going to clean up before I do that. And then we'll be right back and we'll get these things stuffed, okay? In the meantime, they'll be cooling down just a little bit. Let's do that. I let them cool for about 4 minutes. They look really good. I think you can see those. Let me put my cutting board up there so you can see those. They look really good. Nice color. I sprinkled a little of that coarse ground pepper on them. That's all I've done so far, other than now we're going to put some stuffing in there. And here's your pocket right here again. I'm going to use my hand because what I have left over here, I'm going to put it in a dish. I'm going to stuff this loosely as well. In other words, I'm not going to pack it in there, right? We want it to breathe a little bit so that stuffing can get nice and hot as well. So we're going to just kind of do that loosely. Again, I'm just letting it drop in there, and I'm kind of tugging on it just a little bit to get it to fall down in there, which it did. Okay. All right, and I'm going to take that one, mold it just a little bit there, and I'll put it in the pan, and we'll start on the other one. Same thing. Here's our pocket again, nice and deep. I'm going to just let it drop down in there. I'm not forcing it. I don't want it tight. Just like if you're stuffing a chicken or turkey. You want that stuffing to be loose in there so it can get nice and hot. And again, there you have it. That stuffing is really, really good too. And again, it's made with Italian sausage. Great flavor. So I'll get my little dish here already. Again, I'm going to just put it in there. Put them in there rather. And you know what I'm going to do with the rest of this, don't you? Yes. Thusly. And you can get that flavor of that pork as well, as it starts to leach out into the dish as well while it's baking. And just extra stuffing there. I'm just ad-libbing as I'm going along here, guys, but you got to know I wasn't going to throw that stuffing away that's left in that dish, right? So we're going to have the stuffing all around the pork chop, and that'd be edible as well, obviously. I'm having fun, guys. I like doing stuff like this. I really, really do. It looks good now. It looks good enough to eat, but you know it's not ready. Because we haven't done a thing in terms of heat with that 350 degrees for that 35 minutes. So, all right. That's looking good. Again, like I said, the stuffing's nice and moist too. And there you have it. And the stuffing's going to pick up moisture from that pork chop as it cooks as well. This is going into the oven again, like I said, at 350 degrees. Center rack. My, it looks good. Center rack, and I'm going to set my timer for 35 minutes. My asparagus, as I indicated to you earlier as well, is going to go in, I'll say the last 20 minutes of the cooking time of that pork. So I'll be back with you when this is all ready to hit the plate. For my sauce or gravy, I think I'll go ahead and make that now. I'll let you see me do that. And again, I just poured the drippings from the searing of the pork chop into the smaller saucepan so I can control it better as I'm trying to show you what I'm trying to do here. And rather than having that whole pan surface with this little bit of sauce I'm going to make, I thought I'd just put it in a little saucepan for you. So that's what I'm going to do here. I've got about, I'm going to be using about 1/4 of a cup of this flour. This is a 1/2 cup, but I'm gonna just do it by sight here. So again, I'm adding my flour to my really hot drippings, and obviously the drippings contain some of that oil that was already in there too. That's that vegetable oil, because I seared the pork chop, right? So I don't need a whole lot of this. And again, it might be about 1/4 of a cup to some of it that I'm going to use. And I'm cooking that flour, guys, as I've said in other videos, and you probably know, flour is a raw product and you have to cook it. You have to cook that flour, and that's what I'm doing. I don't want it to get brown, because I don't want brown gravy for this application here. And you might be able to see that. Yes, see that? It's just not starting to change colors. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit because I don't need it on high. I'll have it about medium-high here. And it's been cooking, guys, what, about 1.5 minutes or so, and that's about it for the cooking process. That oil was really hot. And my liquid, guys, is going to be chicken stock. I think I showed that to you a while ago too. And that's going to be that. And I'm just going to use that for the thickness, just to the thickness that I want it. And add that and stir like crazy as I'm pouring that liquid in there. And I haven't put any seasoning in there whatsoever at this point. And I'm just going to keep stirring and ensure I don't have any lumps in it. And that's one of the keys. You got to keep stirring until it get a consistency where you don't have to continue to stir it for fear you're going to have lumps. And my gravy doesn't have lumps in it or sauces ever. Just saying, guys. It's starting to look good. It's getting thick. Yeah, it's getting thick. I'm going to add a little bit more chicken stock to get to the consistency I want it. I'll show that to you in just a second as well. It's looking good. There's no lumps. I can actually stop stirring like a madman here because it's not going to have any lumps in it. My ladle here, and I'll be showing that to you in just a second here. You can see that. It's a little thick right now, but I'm going to add a little more liquid because I'm just trying to get it to a consistency that I want it. And put a little bit more in there, and I'll probably put that's about a cup thus far and a half, maybe. And I just want I wanted to coat those chops just a little bit. I didn't have to do this at all anyway, but there it is. It's nice and smooth, as you can see. Nice and smooth. That's how I want it. I'm going to thin it out a little bit more. I want it a little thinner now. And I'm going to just let it kind of simmer here. Let's taste it a little bit. I need a little bit of salt in here. And I think I'll put a little sea salt in there too. Why not? Seeing as how the sea salt was handy. I don't think I need any pepper in there. But that looks really good. Really good. Okay? That's what you want, guys. I'm going to make it a little thinner in a little bit here, because as I let it sit here and simmer, it might tighten up just a little bit. All right? And in about another, I looked at the clock here, in about another 5 minutes, my asparagus are going to go on. That's tasting really good, guys. Now you might wonder why I use chicken stock. I use it because I like it. I like it. I wouldn't have used beef stock. It gives me too dark a color, and I didn't want that. Excuse me, I didn't want that darkness color. And so this is about the color I want here. I don't want it to be any darker than that. All right. I'm going to turn this down to low, which is what I just did. And again, it'll thicken up a little bit more. I won't have to put any more flour and all that in. That's about 1/4 of a cup of flour, once again, like I said. The asparagus are hanging out here all by themselves, getting lonely. But again, they're going to be going into the oven in about 5 minutes. For that last 20 minutes of cooking time on those chops. I will be temping those chops, as I indicated earlier too, with my thermometer, and I'm looking for 145 degrees on the pork chop, and this digital thermometer will tell me that. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing as I do the 35-minute time frame on the pork chop. There might be a chance that I might have to put them back in, but don't worry about that. All you're trying to do is attain that 145 degree temperature. And cook them longer than that if you want. You don't have to make them 145 degrees. They actually should be a little pink at that 145 degrees, guys. And please don't be afraid of that color. You can do that with pork today. It's many, many, many years ago that you couldn't do that, but you can do that today. And you'll have a lot more moisture in your chop as well. It's tender and very flavorful, obviously, of course, and a lot of that has to do with how you season it as well. So. Alright guys, here we go, 35 minutes exactly. Ooh, we're going to take those out. Oh, does that look good? Oh my. That looks good, guys. I'm serious. Got my sauces ready over here. I did add a little bit more chicken stock in there just to make it a little thinner. Again, I used my thermometer and it temped out. It's actually about, I wanted 145. It's actually higher than that, and that's good. 110, 34, 48. All right, that's good. And I got it right next to the bone too to make sure it's nice. And I read 167, 155. See it going down if you can. But make sure you get that 145, at least 145. Here's all that wonderful stuffing we put in there. Alongside of it, my asparagus are ready. They came out that last 20 minutes, like I shared with you. And they're nice and al dente. If you guys have seen my videos, you know al dente is what it's all about, not overcooked and soggy, okay? Okay guys, here goes these scrumptious pork chops, stuffed pork chops, okay? I'm gonna put that one there. As you can see too, you can see it from there, the stuffing kind of exploded out of that pocket that we made, okay? And that is just beautiful. Let me see if I can turn this one around for you. Turn that one around for you as I put it on the plate. The stuffing just exploded out of that chop. I sound like a fanatic, don't I, guys? Here's that extra stuffing. I can't touch this because I put my plates in the oven. And I always heat my plates. The residual heat as I shut the oven off is what I use to heat the plates. So, anyway, I'll show you what that looks like. Like I said, that stuffing just exploded out of that pork chop. And that's great. And that's also because I didn't pack it real tight in there. All right. So let's get our asparagus. Set them back in the hot oven. And let's do these nice asparagus spears. My guys, I'm just serious. This is crazy. And it doesn't take that long either. You can do your stuffing ahead of time like I did. I cooked that stuffing 2 days ago. So my stuffing was already ready. And you can certainly do that. And I usually make extra stuffing, not just for this, for another application. I might have something else later on this week that I might still use stuffing for. Let's say that's enough of that. And let's put a little applesauce here. I always serve applesauce with my pork. Put a little dollop right there. I don't know where that word came from, but let's put a little dollop right there. And one right here as well on top of that. The smell is incredible, guys. I'm serious. And that there. And I made that sauce, guys, particularly because maybe if it got dry, but this didn't get dry at all. So I'm going to leave it up to my lovely wife who's standing in the distance there as to whether or not she wants that sauce. But of course the sauce turned out perfect as well. You can see that. I thinned it out just a little bit, like I said. And I think I'll put a little sauce on mine. And let's call this one mine, okay? Put a little bit of sauce on mine. And I want it to just drizzle down like it's coming down off of a mountain. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, that's what it is, guys. We're going to be having this marvelous dish for supper And again, thank you much, thank you so much for tuning into Cooking with Pouncy. I certainly hope you will subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that, guys. And if you like what you see, please share and please let me know what you think as well. We're going to enjoy this meal, and I certainly hope you and your family, if you decide to make it, enjoy it as well. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.